as you guys know, when they come to these, they go by like that. Next thing we know, we'll be out of time. So what I'm going to do is I've got a couple speakers, and I'm going to go ahead and let them lead off. We have got tons of things going on in Virginia, as you saw from the latest alert. We'll be going into detail over some of that, and maybe some things that are not in the alerts yet. But first, let's go ahead and let the speakers, we've got two. We've got Arin Sime. Arin Sime is running for the seat that Senator Hanger has, Senator Emmett Hanger. And out of fairness, I did invite Senator Hanger. He called today and declined. He couldn't do it because of his job. He apparently said he was getting really behind it with all the election stuff. So he can't come, but we do have Arin Sime. Also, we have Tom Lizardo, Chief of Staff for Congressman Ron Paul. He will be discussing Ron Paul's bill that would let us carry in national parks. We're going to be coming in national parks from all different directions. And this would be the best way to be done. And we're certainly hoping that is the case. And also, you could ask if you, again, Tom is not Congressman Paul, but he could probably answer some general questions that you might have about Ron Paul's positions on guns, various positions on various items. I think that those will probably be pretty much favorable to what I know of Congress. So, with no further ado, let's start with Arin Sime. And thank you, Phil. Sure.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and attention. I appreciate the opportunity to speak before the group. Philip, I'm a proud VCDL member myself here, and so it's an honor for me to get to briefly address you all. I'm running for State Senate. My name is Arin Sime, running for State Senate in the 24th District, Virginia. Now, the 24th District is a little bit of ways away from here, but obviously we all share a lot of common interests here. 24th District is centered around Stanton, counties of Augusta, Highland, Western Albemarle, where I live, Greene County, part of Rockingham, part of Rockbridge, City of Lexington, cities of Stanton, Waynesburg. So that gives you a brief idea where it is. As Philip said, current incumbent in that seat is Senator Emmett Hanger. I recently just finished reading one of Robert Heinlein's books, who's one of my favorite libertarian science authors, science fiction author. You all may know him from one of his quotes. He actually would have turned 100 years old this year. I just read the other day, if he was still alive. But one of his famous quotes you've probably all heard is, an armed society is a polite society. And so I think I can say safely, being here with you all tonight, not only am I in the safest room in Northern Virginia, but I'm also among friends. And so again, enjoy the opportunity to be here. Now, I think that VCDL is just a wonderful group, and I got to see a demonstration of that in my district earlier this year when a large group of VCDL members showed up at a Stanton City Council meeting there regarding an issue with some people open carrying in a restaurant. I know you're all very familiar with those issues. Incidents like that, and like I know a lot of you probably read with great disgust, like myself, about what's going on in Norfolk today. Those are the reasons we need strong people in the state Senate, in particular in the General Assembly as a whole. Now, I will say, my opponent, the incumbent, is not a bad guy on this issue. He's NRA good on gun rights, but I think I didn't even get to the punchline yet. Yes, you did. I would like to be VCDL good in the General Assembly for you all. I think we need strong VCDL supporters of those types of issues in the state Senate, and I would be like very much to be the person that carries your bills there. There are a number of issues certainly that I strongly support on this. I'll just very briefly touch on. I don't want to take up much of your time, but as a concealed carry permit holder myself, I strongly support keeping those records private and not allowing the type of public shenanigans, I guess I'll just say, that we've had with those in Virginia this year. Believe strongly in castle doctrine. Believe very strongly in well, just making sure that we don't create more or encourage more defenseless zones in Virginia. And certainly a big part of that we're all very aware of right now is there are certain government-run institutions and places of higher learning where those of us who exercise our Second Amendment rights are not allowed to protect ourselves. I certainly would be a strong supporter of changing that and making sure that there are no exceptions to the Second Amendment. On other issues, as a libertarian, I believe in small government across the board, so I'll just briefly mention that strong supporter of small government in form of lower taxes, lower regulation, educational tax credits towards school choice, property rights. Property rights is something I'm very passionate about as well, and it's certainly something that matters a lot to us as gun owners. Not only, I'm sure a lot of us share outrage of eminent domain abuse by government, but also property rights from the perspective of, when was the last time you heard of a new gun range being allowed to be built? In places like where I live in Albemarle County, the county trying to restrict whether or not you can use firearms on your own property. Those are property rights issues as well as Second Amendment issues and things that I'm very, very keen on. So, I'd just like to ask for your support, even if you're not in the 24th District. I realize most of you probably are not, but nonetheless, I certainly would appreciate your support regardless of that. And if you are in the 24th District, I would like to ask for your vote as well. We need that very, very much so in November. So, I appreciate your time. I don't know if we're trying to keep it very brief, but I know there's a lot of other things to talk about tonight. If we have time to entertain a couple questions, I'd be happy to do so.
When you say castle doctrine, are you referring to just inside the home, or are you talking about a stand your ground type law, where even outside of your home, it's the same type of scenario?
Stand your ground. Absolutely. You should always be able to defend yourself. Yes, sir.
I know I'm getting this from a libertarian, but I gotta ask it because I gotta ask it. The war on drugs is the war on the Fourth Amendment. We've gotten all kinds of stuff like warrantless wiretaps, no-knock warrants, except in the Commonwealth, where only the feds can no-knock, and all kinds of nasty stuff, invasion of privacy. Would you support making idiots who want to use drugs responsible for their own life and their own body so that we can eliminate the first war on the Fourth Amendment, followed by the anti-terrorism war on the Fourth Amendment?
Yes, I would. As you pointed out, a lot of the things that our government regulates and outlaws perhaps are done with good intentions, but the implementations of these laws often affect law-abiding citizens like us here in our privacy as well, even if we don't engage in sort of activities targeted by those laws. So absolutely, I believe very strongly in, that's all part of property rights and privacy protection. These are issues that our government has very little respect for these days.
Yeah, one question. You spoke about the protection of the concealed carry permit list from being broadcast out, basically like it was by our good friend Roanoke. However, that list is important to VCDL. You sort of see there may be a way to accommodate both, where a group like ours can use it internally to basically contact people by mail to let them know about issues in their district.
And if I might, and I apologize to Philip, but to follow on with that, we could have never passed a law in '95 if we couldn't show the abuses of the courts. And we couldn't have shown that Fairfax had 2 permits, that Loudoun had 2 permits in 18 months, if it weren't for the fact that we could go and inspect it.
I'd be happy to hear more about how exactly you use that and if there's ways that can be addressed without compromising people's privacy.
Yeah, basically, just for you to think about, and again, if you've never thought about it, I don't want to spring something on you, hadn't had a chance to really think about a position on, but we use that list when, let's say that a particular delegate or senator isn't seeing something the way that they should be, or we're trying to encourage them We will target their district with a mailing that says, okay, here's a postcard, send this in to your delegate or senator. That's one of the key ways. We don't use it very often, but when we need it because it gives us a much bigger audience than just our membership.
Right. Give them the Manassas example real quick, Philip.
Go ahead.
Well, that's how we got all the people in Manassas, all the concealed firearm permit holders in Manassas, to know about what was going on with